This is episode 520 on the 13th of May 2022. Everyone loves watching a good movie or a good TV show or whatever form of entertainment. And the debate over the past 2 years, and for me, this debate has no substance and no value, but the debate happens because the majority wants this debate to be part of the normal discussion. As I said, everyone wants to watch a good quality movie because for us, movie is a form of entertainment, and movies should not be seen as anything more than entertainment. And even if movies have some message, it's part of the entertainment, which means if at the end of the movie there is some message, let's not take that message seriously because we are here to enjoy 2 to 2.5 hours of good or decent content. But for me, I would prefer a 90 to 100-minute movie because the shorter the movie, the more exciting it is. The longer the movie, which means there are unnecessary scenes which have been put into the movie. For example, in an Indian movie, you have songs which have no connection to the plot of the movie, the story, and sometimes those songs are just added because the writers don't know what to do. So what would I rather prefer, a 100-minute movie or a 150-minute? Well, the 150-minute movie makes sense if there's a logical beginning, middle, and an end to the movie. If there's something in the movie which will lead to a climax. But if the movie has no logic and if it's punctuated by songs, then where would I want to watch the movie? On the digital platform or on the analog platform? What should be the ideal time duration for transition from theater to digital networks? 4 weeks or 8 weeks? For me, it doesn't matter. If a movie comes on the digital networks, that is the digital cable networks, after 4 weeks of release from theaters or 8 weeks of release, you don't even know. 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 16 weeks, just go by. If a movie is released today in the theaters, should I be able to go and watch? Yes, I should be able to go and watch. But it's not always possible because to watch a movie in a theater, you have to plan. You have to make sure that you have to coordinate with someone you want to watch the movie with. You have to convince them to take their time out. Then we have to book the tickets. What is the ideal time? Is it late in the night? Is it somewhere in the afternoon? No one wants to go in the afternoon because of the 45-degree heat and all the scare around heat waves and climate change and all the scare tactics being used. So what would be the ideal time? Between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. which means even for that you have to reach the theater at around 5:30 or 5:45 because you don't immediately go into the movie hall. They make you wait. They are cleaning the hall, and then once you go in, the movie doesn't start immediately. You have pre-movie advertisements, the sponsors for the theater, the sponsors for the movie. Then you have some public social announcements which go on for at least 4 to 5 minutes. Then you have trailers of other movies, so at least 15 minutes are gone. If a movie is scheduled to start at 5:45 p.m., it won't start before 6 p.m. And that's something we have to accept. And that's something which has been happening forever. But the question is, how long do I have to wait to see a theatrical release on the digital cable networks, or wrongly named as OTT? The term OTT doesn't exist. It's a wrong term. It's a misnomer. So let's look at this particular article and then decode this article as to what is the message or what is the idea behind this article. It doesn't make sense after 2 years. For me, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, it doesn't make a difference. I'll wait. I can't go to a movie hall because of obvious reasons, because I can't convince someone to go with me, or because of all the time that is to be created to go to a movie hall. You have to go to a movie hall. You have to park your car. You have to book tickets in advance. And then 15-minute waiting period either inside or outside the hall. All the trailers, the PSAs, other advertisements. You don't want to watch them, but you have to watch them. And then if it's a longer movie, then there'll be at least a 5-6 minute break in between so that people are lured to buy snacks and popcorns. So that's one marketing strategy. It's been going on forever. I haven't really noticed 4 weeks, 8 weeks. It doesn't make a difference, but it may make a difference to the movie producer for whom the whole theater versus digital cable network is unnecessary comparison, but for them, that's the way it is. In 2020, when many releases featuring top stars and backed by renowned banners had initially began to take the digital cable network route for release, it caused a huge stir in the film exhibition market nationally. Okay, so they went over there, it doesn't matter, but maybe it did. Until then, films would first open in theaters and then head to satellite channels and digital platforms about 8 weeks after the release. However, the release of films directly on the digital platforms in the summer of 2020 had riled up the traditional distribution and exhibition business in the country. I disagree. Eventually, after all the charade about whatever happened in 2020, the 2 year con period that happened, how individuals were conned for 2 years, including movie releases. So, yes, even if they came directly on these platforms, so what? Yes, not everybody has access to these platforms, fair enough. But then going to a theater is not that straightforward, was never that straightforward. So the question is, what is the ideal environment to watch a movie? In theaters and then later on satellite cable TV? Well, satellite cable TV also releases the movies on theater. It has been happening for so long. It's been going on. So this discussion has no substance, but sometimes you have to find substance in things which have no substance. The only irritating part of this is that the ad breaks. There are, especially for the satellite cable TV, just when a good scene comes on, just when the movie at the climax stage, suddenly there's an ad break. It just breaks the momentum, whether it's for a TV show on these networks or movies, just when the movie is beginning to have a movement, there is something happening, the movie is beginning to move to the climax stage. The antagonist, the protagonists are being revealed, and the protagonist is now after the antagonist. Just when it gets exciting, the ad breaks comes on, and then the most irritating part, the ad breaks seem to go on forever. Of course, ad breaks are needed because they are the only way the movie can be financed, but there should be a limit to the ad breaks. 2-3 minutes of ad breaks, or maybe more, and then the time of the movie. Sometimes the movie is released late at night, 10 a.m. Why would I want to watch a 10 a.m., 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. movie? Or why would I want to watch a movie early in the morning? It doesn't suit that. For me, the best movie time is somewhere between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. The best time after 8 p.m. It gets too late. Before 6 p.m. it's just not the environment because there are too many talking heads in your house. The best period, the quietest period is 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then at 8 p.m. you can enjoy a good dinner. And after 8 p.m. do other things. Maybe sleep by 9:30, 10. Or watch something else. Or just read a book or just close your eyes. But for me, that's the best time. Whether it's on theaters, but then theaters have a control on the timings. Ad breaks don't come in between the scenes, but ad breaks come before, and then of course there's a full 2 to 3 minute break. Of course, people need a break, they have to go out, they have to take a washroom break, restroom, fair enough. But then it's far too long. The ads are far too long. Till the time there were no digital networks or wrongly named OTT networks, we had to watch on satellite cable TV. Luckily, I had the option of purchasing CDs and DVDs, and the best part is before the wrongly or misnomered OTT or digital networks, CDs were the best. You could pause and play, you could watch anytime on demand, and then you knew that if I watched a portion of the movie tonight and I want to take a break, I could watch the movie tomorrow. But for theater and satellite cable TV, once the movie starts, you have to watch the entire thing. You cannot pause and play. I mean, there are options of pause and play right now, but it's still not that appropriate. In theaters, there are times when the movie becomes boring, when the scenes are not in tune with what are you expecting in the movie. We have to watch. You can't pause and play because there are 40 other people who are probably enjoying the movie. So for me, the digital cable networks plus the erstwhile CDs and DVDs, because no longer CDs and DVDs exist, because no longer CD players and DVD players exist, or VCRs as well. Here you can watch anytime on demand. There are over 300 movie options on these platforms, whether newly released or if you haven't watched a movie. Let's say a movie was released in the year 95. I didn't watch it. Fair enough. I can't watch every movie, and maybe that movie was not suitable to my age, and the whole AUA thing is to be kept in the discussion. So I didn't. I can watch that movie today, and if there are scenes which are boring, I can skip it. Even if I watch a long Indian movie today, which I maybe missed watching 25, 30 years ago, fine, I can watch it. Nobody can stop me from watching it. I can skip the songs, I can skip the boring scenes, but I cannot do that on this platform, especially on the satellite platform. And then for satellite, you have to check your local listings, which channel has which movie. And then, as I said, on these platforms, just when the movie has reached a very interesting stage, the ad break comes. And then the ad break seems to go on forever. Nobody wants to watch 3 to 4 minutes of ad breaks because it disturbs your thing. Here, I can pause, I can go out, I can have a glass of water, I can go to the washroom, I can then watch the movie again. I can skip the unnecessary songs, especially in Indian movies. Nobody wants to watch a song, especially a 4 or 5 minute long song. I can make a 2.5 hour movie into a 2 hour movie or even less because I can skip over 45 minutes of song. I can skip the credits. Of course, credits are important because we know who all were involved in the movie. But I can skip the credits. I can skip the end credits. I can watch the portion. I can skip the songs. I don't want to watch the songs. The song may have a connection to the movie. The song may be the title song of the particular movie, but I don't want to watch it. So I can skip it. But here, I have to watch the song. Sometimes, if I watch it, I don't watch an Indian movie or theater because unless they are short movies of 100 minutes, if they are long movies of over 160 minutes, it means you have at least 40 minutes of songs and unnecessary scenes and emotional dialogue which don't resonate with me. I feel like going out of the hall for at least 7 to 8 minutes, then returning to the hall once the movie is over. But it's not practical. You can't go in and out because it disturbs others. The moment the door opens, the light comes in, people get distracted, and then going in and out may not be the appropriate thing. You have to, unless you've got your own private moving, you have to go to the sea of legs, which means you have to come in, come out, unless you have a seat in the corner, and that's a different story, but you have a seat somewhere in the middle. Nowadays, they don't give two seats together, so you are seated very far away from the person you are watching a movie with, especially in theaters, means you have to say, excuse me, sorry, go through the legs, then come back, they're irritated, and then it may lead to unsavory moments. So, no use watching a 160-minute movie if it's not If it's an Indian movie, no use watching it. The best thing would be to watch the same at home, skip the songs, make it into a 100-minute movie or at least 45 minutes of song being removed by just skipping the songs, opening song, closing song, or whatever be the story, watch anytime on demand and pause and play. I think that's the best thing to do. But while we debate what is the ideal environment to watch a movie, is it the theater and the satellite cable TV networks, or is it the digital cable network, or the CDs and DVDs? This debate doesn't end. It doesn't. There is no solution to it. As I said, whether it's 4 weeks, 8 weeks, or more, I'll wait. The moment it comes on these platforms, I'll watch it. But will I be impatient that I'm missing out? No, I'm not missing out. If they don't come, they don't come. If they come after 10 years, if these digital cable networks buy the same movie after 10 years, fair enough, do it. It doesn't affect me. There are so many movies I haven't watched, and I'm watching it now. I watched a movie yesterday. I would name the movie after 13 years. I just wanted to see what was in that movie. Of course, the plot and the story didn't make sense. I would skip the song. I just want to watch a nonsensical movie, a movie which didn't have, you don't want to use your brain to watch a movie. That's the whole idea. When you're watching a movie, you don't have to use your brain. You leave your brain behind. Give, you relax that part of the thing. But that's the thing. But while we debate what is the ideal environment to watch a movie, what is the ideal environment to watch a sports match, I think it's at home. While watching it in the stadium is good. You are not deprived of moments which you are deprived of when once again ad breaks ruin when the match is getting interested. Ad breaks are important, but they are far too long. Ad break should not be more than 15 to 20 seconds. The moment they cross that threshold, it just becomes irritating. You miss certain parts which you see when it comes to watching it in the stadium, but it's fine. Stadium, home doesn't really matter. Both options are open. People have watched from the moment sport was televised. People have been watching both options. Both options are open and both options are fair. You have a choice. And then going to the theater and going to the hall it's a lot of work. You have to plan. You have to buy tickets. You have to see. You have to leave 3 hours before the match from your home, and then you don't reach your home 3 hours until after the match is over. So the match gets over at 10 a.m., 10 p.m. It never does, but it gets over at 10 a.m. You don't reach your home before midnight. It's irritating, but that's the truth. But let's look at the state of the championship. Now, Calcutta did not may have given their semi-final chances a boost when they beat Bombay, who were not able to chase 160. Bombay in turn beat Chennai, whose semi-final chances are gone. And according to some pseudo experts, with Bombay and Chennai not qualifying for the semi-finals, it's seen as an end of an era. Are we trying to say that next year Bombay and Chennai won't be part of the setup because they've lost this year? They've lost the opportunity to be part of the semi-finals this year? I don't think it makes a difference. And those who were listening to my episode on 11th April, I said that on that particular evening or on morning or afternoon that Chennai and Bombay are nowhere making it to the semi-final playoff or whatever is the terminology. We will have a new champion and already pinned Gujarat and Lucknow as a teams to qualify for the semi-finals and probably even the finals. So the discussion that is happening today that we will have a new champion, I had already put that in the discussion a month ago. If you didn't listen to that episode, well, shame on you, not on me. I'm not surprised. But teams like Rajasthan and Delhi are also fighting for that third and fourth position. So many teams are fighting for that third and fourth position. Hyderabad, Punjab, Bangalore, Calcutta, Delhi. East also in contention for that third and fourth position. So what does it mean to the what effect will it have on this tournament? It will not have any effect on this tournament. Gujarat has done well, but it doesn't mean that they will continue the momentum next year. Winning 2-2 is a rarity. Not many teams have done it. Only two teams have done it. Of course, one can say that the Delhi, every time Chennai and Bombay play, they make it an El Clasico or some terminology is given. I disagree with that. But yesterday's match, I would say that it just didn't work out for a certain team. Both teams are out, but there are still some matches to be completed. So who knows how will those results affect this particular situation? So many scenarios. Teams could be stuck on same points. Net run rate will be a factor. That was always going to be a factor from game one, and now we are reaching game number 60 of this tournament. And 2 weeks from this Sunday, we'll have a new champion. Who will it be? Bangalore has a decent chance to win, and if Bangalore does win, it might give the Philip that Kohli mean that at least he has a championship in his city. Since the 2013 International Champions Trophy, he's been waiting since then to win a domestic tournament. It means it might boost him for a World Cup tournament. But then Kohli was on the fringes during the 2011 and the 2013 Champions Trophy. He was there, but he was not really there. He was in that Rishabh Pant zone, talented person, lot of talent, but still in that fringe zone. And he's no longer in the fringe zone. He's called this great person. Okay, he is. Nobody's questioning that. If Bangalore win, that means if Bangalore reach the finals and whoever they face, that will be Bangalore's fourth final. So in 2009, a close game to Deccan Hyderabad. 2011, another close game to Chennai. 2016, another close game against Deccan Hyderabad. Then semi-finals. Last year, a close game against Calcutta, and now they have a chance of reaching the semi-finals and finals. I don't know if they will win it. I cannot predict that. But of course, we'll have a new champion. I said that 30 days ago that we will have a new champion. So what's so special about just because some legitimate anchor on a network says it? It's nothing new in that. Of course, when Chennai and Bombay are no longer part of the equation, you have a new champion. Rajasthan has a chance to win its second title. Hyderabad has a chance to win its third title, while Gujarat and Lucknow, Calcutta has a chance to win its third title. So Calcutta will have to go through a lot of hoops to even get in the semi-final. But Calcutta has a chance to win its third title, which leaves maiden contenders in Gujarat, Lucknow, Punjab, Delhi, Bangalore. Can they do it? Of course, in this tournament, you never know what will happen. Maiden title is always around the corner. We saw Kerala in the Indian Football League win its maiden title. So anything is possible in this tournament. And then the way this tournament is shaped up, you win the toss, you get to 160, you can defend it, or like Delhi, you chase it, or you can bowl out for 100, like Chennai. You never know. Winning the toss and bowling first can go either way. So I don't know what will happen tonight in the Punjab-Delhi game. Both teams have this arrogance to win the toss and bowl first. Not every time will you succeed in chasing it down or defending it, but anything is possible in this tournament. So let's look at some interesting factoids. So for now, the only semi-final spot sealed is Gujarat. So 1 and 2 fight still remains. And if Gujarat win the championship, Hardik will join Watson, Jadeja, Harbhajan, Rayudu, Rohit, Yusuf Pathan as the players who win for more than two teams. It means Watson, Jadeja, Yusuf Pathan. Watson and Jadeja won it for Rajasthan and Chennai. Yusuf Pathan won it for Rajasthan and Calcutta twice. Rohit won it for Deccan Hyderabad and Bombay. Rayudu, Bombay and Chennai, that is 5 titles. Rohit has the most with 6 titles. So Rohit was still in that young, talented guy in the Deccan Hyderabad team, just like a couple of players are right now. And then we all know what happened. Harbhajan also 2 teams for Bombay and then Chennai. So you never know if Hardik can also join this interesting group, winning for more than 2 teams. Hardik won in 99-20, but he was part of the 2017 team, so 3 and 1 4. But and the interesting thing is, except Hardik and Jadeja and Raidu and Rohit, Watson and Harbhajan are retired. So you never know what will happen now. 9 plus 2 Hyderabad plus 2 Calcutta plus 1. So teams like Gujarat, Lucknow, Delhi, Punjab, Bangalore are eager to win their maiden title, while teams like Hyderabad, Rajasthan and Calcutta will add to the championship trophy, with Chennai and Bombay no longer part of the equation. Who will win this year? Well, Chennai and Bombay will not. The semi-final spot should be decided by this weekend or at best Monday, because the semi-finals are not too far away. That's the most important thing. Semi-finals are going to happen in another city, but that's not important. So new champions, yes. Or teams adding to the championship trophy cabinet, definitely. Well, Australia did it last year, so who knows what will happen? Can Gujarat do what Australia did last year? Australia and New Zealand were the best teams in the World Cup last year. Similarly, Gujarat and Lucknow are the best teams in the tournament this year. Will we have a scenario where the first match or the second match of the tournament, that is Gujarat and Lucknow, and the final game of the tournament will be between Gujarat and Lucknow? It's a possibility. Anything is possible in this scenario, but whoever wins, good luck to them. Will it change their fortune? Yes. Will it affect their induction into the national team? Maybe. One doesn't know what the national selectors have in mind. They haven't yet selected a team as far as the South Africa series is concerned. So who knows what they have in mind? Who will be selected? Who won't be selected? Who will be rested? What the selectors have in mind, I have no idea. But this is a very interesting scenario. So this ends episode number 520 on the 13th of May 2022. Stay tuned for the next episode on the 16th of May 2022 with episode number 521.